thanks so much for joining our webinar this afternoon. It's really great to see you all. I'm sure there'll be some more joining as well. If you hear a little bell in the background, that's probably just someone else joining in as well. So guys, today we are talking about teaching in Germany. We've just recently launched a really exciting internship in Germany. And I also have a guest speaker, Selena, joining us today from the program, who's going to talk all about the program, what's required, you know, just give a general overview of it. And of course, she's in Germany, all the way in Germany at the moment as well. So it'd be great to get her, her advice as well on teaching in Germany. So guys, just to let you know, our intake dates for this program are June 17th, that is for 10 weeks, and July the 10th for 8 weeks. So whatever intake you prefer, whatever suits you, I guess, you know, it's perfect as a short-term job. You know, if you decide to go back to work or college in the autumn time, it's perfect. Or even if you decide to stay in Germany a bit longer or go traveling around Europe after. In my opinion, I think it's a really fun and sociable internship, and it's perfect just for the summer months as well. And you'll be working with kids, so young learners in a summer camp. So if you're really passionate about working with kids, I think this is perfect for you as well. Also, this job, you know, it's good for a person who's really active. They love to be immersed in nature and in camp life. So it's really quite different from our other internships we offer. Also, I think, you know, as a teacher, it would be good to be creative and to be able to think outside the box when it comes to creating engaging and exciting lessons for your young learners. So to help you in this, in our package, we've included our 120-hour course, our TOEFL course, our Young Learners Specialist course, and also our new specialist course, Teaching English Through Yoga, so that you can create really unique and creative lessons as well in the summer camp. And as well, we also have our lesson planning guides, you know, just to get some ideas as well for warmer activities and cool downs as well. So we have it all included in this package, guys, to help you. So I'm going to pass you over to Selena. She's going to give us an overview of the program. So maybe if you want to start, Selena, telling us, you know, what are the ethos, the culture of the camp, and yeah, just a general overview, I guess.
Sure, I want to. Thanks, Jessica. Hi, guys. My name is Selena, coming all the way from Germany. I'd be working with you if you were to choose to come to Germany. And what we do is we offer camps to kids and youth from all around the world. Every year we welcome around 50 different nations. And in order to take care of these kids, of course, we need great people to do so. And yeah, I would say our biggest goal is basically to just have this intercultural experience for everyone and show everyone how great it is when you gather many different nations together and just enjoy life. Basically, that's what we do. The kids come to us, they stay 1 or 2 weeks. You would be taking care of a few of them, not of all, of course. Camps vary quite a bit in size. Smallest camps are only 30 kids, whilst the super big camps are 40 kids. So there's something for everyone, I would say. We have around 10 different camps in Germany. And what we do is we offer crazy outdoor activities. We go climbing, canoeing, kayaking, mountain biking, survival techniques. We do loads of arts and crafts, starting from dancing, dream catcher making, whatever you can think of, basically. And of course, we teach language because I think that language is like one of the many ways of communication, but a very, very basic one. And we want to encourage all our kids how amazing it is to be able to talk to a person from a different country. And for us, it's super important that language is not about sitting in school and having to study and it all being hard, but it's just about having fun and understanding each other. So yeah, we always encourage everyone to think of crazy and fun ways to teach a language, play a game, swim with them in the lake and explain to them that's water, right? Or whatever. So yeah, that the kids just understand language is not only a subject in school, which is connected to grades, but more about fun and talking.
Absolutely. And you said there's a lot of different cultures at the camp as well, is that right? Along with German teachers as well?
Totally. So I would say every year we have around 150 counselors coming to our camps, and they 2/3 of them come from other countries in Germany, and in total we have about 50 nations in camp every year.
Wow.
So all camps run bilingual, so you don't need to speak German, and anything that's being said is said in English and in German. So if you were to talk and you don't speak German, then someone else who does speak both languages translates afterwards. And when talking to the kids, obviously you can just talk English to them. There will be some kids that don't understand English quite yet, but then they help each other and they translate for each other. And it's just amazing to see how easy it is to communicate if everyone wants to communicate.
Absolutely. I really like that you can get so much exposure to not just German culture, but different other cultures. That's really, really cool. And I can imagine that with nearly 150 camp counselors, you're going to make friends pretty fast as well.
Totally. So I always tell everyone, don't book your flight back home right after camp, because usually you meet so many people. We're all aged between 19 and end of 20s, so 28, 29, usually, like that's the age range of our counselors. And I mean, everyone tends to be an outdoorsy person. That, I mean, you need to be able to sleep in a tent, at least for training week. Afterwards, we can place you in a camp where you sleep in a youth hostel, but at least for 1 week, you need to be able to sleep in a tent. We do many things with the kids outdoors, so yeah, you tend to meet many like-minded people, and then people come up with crazy travel plans, and then everyone after camp goes on a trip to somewhere and has a great time with each other.
That sounds great. And you were saying about the tents as well, so the accommodation, it would be shared tents, is that right?
That's totally correct. It depends on whether you're in a training week or in your camp placement week. And while you're in training, everyone starts off with a 1-week training, which is mandatory for everyone. We teach you everything we think you need to know about camp apart from the language teaching. For example, easy social things, how to bring kids to bed, how to help with homesickness, but also many games, all the programs I was talking about, how to do canoe and kayaking, and how to do survival techniques, all that stuff. We'll teach it to you. Obviously, you don't have to do everything of it. Once you're in camp, you only need to do the things you feel good with. That's why we're a team. Everyone can do something. And during that training week, you will sleep in a tent together with other counselors. Usually it's around 4 of you of the same sex in one tent, but the tents are really big. They look like, I always say they look like white houses, like little white houses. And they have a wooden platform inside where you put your sleeping mattress on. So yeah, that's when you share a tent. And then once you're in camp, it depends on the camp where you're at. And you either also sleep in a tent still with other counselors, or you sleep in a youth hostel in a regular room with another counselor. Usually then it's shared by 2.
And you recommend bringing some sleeping equipment as well, like a sleeping bag and everything, yeah?
Yeah, A, for the training week, and B, kids can stay with us either 1 week or 2 weeks. And if they stay 2 weeks, there's a weekend in between. And during that weekend, we go on a hike with the kids and we sleep outside and we cook over the fire and we have a crazy outdoor adventure. And for that time, it's good to have your own sleeping bag. If you don't, definitely. We have some spare ones, and that's not the issue, but it's always nice to have your own in that case.
Absolutely, I agree. Just talking about there as well, the training you have, and I guess how a teacher needs to be prepared before they go. What type of teacher are you looking for this camp?
So basically, so we're looking for native speakers. For us, it's super important that people are native speakers. We think that's the easiest way to learn from someone when that person actually has grown up with the language. And then I would say the most important thing is just to want to share the language and have fun with it. As long as you know how to do that, you will be fine in camp. You need to be a bit outdoorsy, not super outdoorsy, but you have to have some sort of interest in it. You need to bring a first aid course, like a certificate of a first aid course, because we think when you're working with kids, it's actually important to know how to do first aid in some case something happens. And I can tell you from experience, something happens all the time, which is totally fine and not a problem. It's just cool to know what to do. If you don't have one, you can do one in camp during our first training, which would be, I think, the first part Jessica mentioned.
In June, is it?
Towards.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
But you can also do one at home. Sorry, Jessica.
Perfect, exactly. And it's within 2 years, isn't it? You said, Selena.
Yes. So it should be from the last 2 years, and it's like just 9 times 45 minutes. That's how we calculate in Germany. I'm not sure what the Irish equivalent is, but yeah, it's not a big thing. Just
okay, as long as you have your
first aid knowledge and a clean criminal record. That's also what people need, because obviously you'll be working with kids.
Yeah, fantastic, lovely. And just wondering, could you maybe take us through a typical day at the camp? I guess your schedule, would it be a long day?
So obviously days can vary. We're super flexible in camp, and if ever someone has an idea about something, we're more than happy to listen to it and try to make it happen. That's what I personally love most about camp, that there's actually so many people with so many ideas, and many ideas I would have never thought of. But to get a basic idea how camp works is get up in the morning, and then every counselor has their own tent group. It's usually 7 kids who sleep in a tent, and that's the group of kids that you take care of for either 1 week or 2 weeks. And you wake them up in the morning. You don't sleep with them in the same tent, but you wake them up in the morning, and then you sit with them at breakfast, and you just get a feeling of the vibe of the group, that everyone is fine. And then after breakfast, once everyone is ready, we start into our programs. We have more or less scheduled the day through with longer projects and shorter projects. We call them Xxl projects, or S modules, for 2.5 hours or 1.5 hours. And then how it works is basically everyone comes up with an idea that is offered to the group. Well, not everyone, but a few people. And that could be, for example, Martin offers canoe and kayaking, Paula offers dancing, and Emily offers climbing. And then the kids of your group, usually about 50 kids, can decide where they want to go. And that's what they do for 2.5 hours. Then they have a break, and then the small slot starts with 1.5 hours, and it's the same procedure. We offer something, and the kids can go wherever they go. So basically, you meet your tent group only during those times when we have meal times and when we sit with them, in the morning when you wake them up, and at night when you bring them to bed. It could be that they're doing your program with you, the program you're offering, but they don't have to. They are free to decide where they want to go. And not every kid of every group wants to do arts and craft. Sometimes some want to do arts and craft, and others want to do crazy outdoor activities. English happens with us always in the morning, because that's when kids usually have the most possibilities.
Energy.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it's just it's like a 2.5 hour program, but it's with the same group. So kids have to decide before they come to camp if they want to be part of the English group learners, and then they have a small talk test when they enter camp. We just talk to them briefly, so we know, are they beginners or rather intermediate or already the better speakers, and then they're in their English group, and then you meet with them every day for those 2.5 hours in the morning, and you do your English class with them. So you can also like build up on the lessons. It's not that you get different kids every day. And yeah, that's how the day runs through. And then in the afternoon, you as an English teacher would also just offer regular outdoor and RT programs. And then at night, we always have a big something for the entire camp. This can be a talent show, a disco, a campfire, whatever people can think of, basically.
Really cool, really cool.
Very long, yes.
Long, but I imagine a really super fun packed kind of day. So
totally, you'll have so many memories. I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I still love it. And I can still remember all the memories from my first year, because it was also so big and so colorful. But you will be super tired.
Oh, I imagine you'll sleep well. Yeah, fantastic. And sorry, I just see some questions come in there, guys. I will take them just after, at the end, if that's okay. So if you want to pop them in the chat box, I will answer them after. So just as well, Selena, if you could just quickly go through what's included in the program. For example, you said the accommodations included. Is there anything else?
So yeah, it's the 1 week training ahead of camp that is included, and it's the accommodation, and of course always the food. Wherever you stay, you'll always get great food 3 times a day, obviously, and in between we have snacks and fruit and drinks and everything available. At night we also have free snacks and adult drinks, and German adult drinks, so beer, for free available. Just to have also a good time with each other when there's no kids around. I think it's only fair and nice to also have some adult time together and just be able to talk about other things than kid themes.
Yes.
And yeah, anything you will need in camp is included.
Fantastic. So everything from transfers and
okay, that's one thing. You have to make your own way from your hometown to camp. So in camp, when you are transferred from camp A to camp B, then yes, we plan and pay for the transfer, but you have to make your own way from your hometown to camp.
Perfect. And the locations, then could you tell us a bit more about those, Selena?
So they're quite widely spread throughout Germany. All of the camps you guys would be sent to is within Germany, because that's where the best English classes run. Yeah, they go from north to south, from east to west. They are always with the same vibe, with this positive and a little bit crazy, a little bit loud environment. Lots of music, lots of laughter. And the only difference is really the size and the accommodation. So as I said before, there's smaller camps, around about 40 kids, and bigger kids up to 400, camps up to 400 kids, and accommodation either in a youth hostel or in a tent. It's both possible. You will have also a talk with us after signing up, so we can answer questions if there's any left firsthand. And during that time, you have the chance to let us know what your preferences are. If you prefer to be in a youth hostel or prefer to be in an outdoorsy camp more. But in the end, we need you to be as flexible as possible. We always try to make everyone happy, but obviously, let's say someone gets sick and drops out, then we just have to rearrange things. And I always say, just remember, you'll have a great time anywhere you go with us, because all people that come to us are just amazingly nice and fun.
Yeah, fantastic. Lovely. Well, thank you, Selena. I just want to quickly, guys, brief you on the application process. So I'll be working with Selena on this. So I will send you on the link there to purchase our Germany internship. So you can apply, you can book on once you've chosen your dates. So again, to remind you, the dates are June and July. So June 17th for 10 weeks and July 10th for 8 weeks. As me and Selena discussed, you will need your first aid cert if you are going in July. So you'll need to get that done at home in your hometown. But in June, you can go for first aid training, okay? So once you've booked on, guys, you'll be sent an application form just to fill it out and tell us a bit about yourself, important details, and I guess why you feel that you're the best candidate for this job. And then I will forward this on to our partners, such as Selena, and from there they'll arrange an interview and get you set up. So guys, I'm just going to take a few questions there. Just a moment. I see we have a couple coming in, which is great. Okay. So from Anne, do I need to have any experience if I want to go? Selena, in your opinion, I guess it's an advantage, would you say, if they do?
No, so what's the nice thing about camp is even if you don't have any experience, there will be someone that helps you along the way. So for example, if you say, hey, I've never taught a class, I've only done my TEFL course and I don't feel super safe to straight run into it, then what we would answer is, okay, no problem. Then we'll just double you up with someone that has done many TEFL courses or classes before. And then you'll do 1 week with that person. And then the next week, you'll already feel much better and fine to run your own lessons.
That's great. It sounds like you always can have maybe a mentor if you need it by your side.
Yeah.
That's great. As well there, do we need to pay for these extra activities, Selena? So the excursions or activities, is there any that would need to be paid for?
No, so nothing you'll do in camp will cost you anything. Yeah, we'll teach you everything you need to know in this 1 week training. And then you're actually able to run the crazy activities we have on offer in camp, but you don't need to pay for them neither when we, for example, once a week we go on an excursion with the kids, usually to an amusement park or something, but then it's also all covered. You don't need to pay anything.
That's great to hear. Fantastic. And we also have another question. How many hours a day will I work or teach?
This depends slightly on the camp you're going to. The minimum hours is 15 hours per week. We calculate in weeks, and the maximum is 20 hours. So one of the two.
Super. Well, I imagine it's quite an immersive experience and you'll probably enjoy working really by the end of it. So it doesn't feel like work.
And I mean, you just, and usually people love to see how the kids actually learn how to enjoy learning a language. And it's the cutest for me is always when they are outside of class, when they starting to talk only in English with you or wanting to talk with you all the time because you talk in English with them and you see how they really become a fan of the English language.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cool to see.
Very fulfilling to see, absolutely. Super, I have a couple of more questions coming in there. Yes, so I guess people wanting to go with friends, is that a possibility? Could they be in the same tent or location?
Yeah, no problem.
It's no problem. Okay, as long as they specify on the form, is it?
Yeah, we need to know. Otherwise, it's a problem. But as long as we know, that's totally fine.
Great. There's a question come in there. Is there any time to sightsee in Germany? So I guess as well with time off would be another question.
Yeah, so what we can do, especially since if you're staying 8 or 10 weeks, it's a really, really long time. And it's, as I said, days are very long and the private time is very, very little because you have to imagine there is no parents in camp and kids need to be supervised. You're basically always working, although you're not working and work doesn't feel like work, but just like your lifestyle at that moment. But nevertheless, private time is very little. We tried, but we make it that everyone at least like every second week has an evening off. Usually it's then a group of 7 to 10 people who are off and then go into town and just have a great time together without kids. But apart from that, since you will be staying quite long with us, we're more than happy to give you a week off somewhere and then you can just travel around Germany. You can also talk to us if you want 2 weeks off, then that's also totally fine. And we also try to send you to different campsites within Germany. 8 weeks or 10 weeks at the same camping site can get a little bit one-sided. You see the same things the entire time. So we try to send you to at least 2 campsites.
So you can see a lot of Germany so in that way as well. Fantastic. And I guess as well, if you do plan, you make some friends, you could go traveling afterwards as well if needs be. Just as well, I guess with the location, if you specified your preference, could you meet this? Is it a guarantee?
No, there is no guarantee, just because we need to stay flexible. And if we hand out too many guarantees, then we might be in big trouble quicker than we think. But to us, it's really important that everyone feels like they're being listened to, and that their wishes are important. So I, of course, when I do the planning, which is my job, I really try to listen to every wish. But I can't give a guarantee. That would be too risky for myself.
Sure. But as you said, you could end up in 2 locations, so it's a good variety.
Yeah, that's
Great.
very likely, actually.
Great. Question there as well, how long does the internship last for? So as we said, you can go for 8 weeks or 10 weeks. So 8 weeks in July or 10 weeks in June. Would you attend several camps back to back? I'm not too sure what that means, but I guess, you know, there is a possibility to, you can go back, of course. If you want to go back the year after, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to take you on. But yeah, that would be, we have 2 intakes at the moment, so for 10 weeks or 8 weeks, and you can let us know your preference. If there's a particular time that you're hoping for, maybe a bit longer or a bit shorter, please, you can let us know and email us. Is there an age limit for the internship? So Selena, I think you said, was it 29?
Well, yes and no. So there is no official age limit. Mm-hmm. Everyone is welcome at camp. I just always put a lot of effort into letting people know that if you're older than 30, which is totally fine, and there's people coming older than that, you just need to know that the big majority of people you will be working with is much younger than yourself. And days are very long and also very exhausting. But if you're 38 and you think you'd be a great fit and you'd love to do it, go ahead for it. We're open for every age.
Yeah, I imagine you'll be on your feet all day. And
yeah, kids, by the way, are aged between 7 and 15.
7, 15. Okay, super. So they're quite young. So yeah, you'd want to be quite energetic for the role. Just have a few questions there as well, Sina, about non-native speakers. Would they be eligible as well?
If you're on a native speaker level, we can look into it. Mm-hmm. Your English should be better than mine.
Okay, that's a good test. Okay.
I wouldn't teach English.
Yeah, so guys, you can email us as well. You can email myself at recruitment@xxl.ie if you are non-native, and we'll inquire for you. Just have a quick look at anything else. Yeah, age of learners, as you said, so they'd be quite young kids, early teens as well. Just checking there, anything else? Would there be, yeah, so just another similar question, would there be much time for personal relaxation? I think you said you get a day off, is it every 2 weeks? But the evenings would be more relaxed, I imagine, Selena.
Yeah, they are, but also then you need to know that's like the time you miss out at the campfire, which is your free will, and you are welcome to do so. Mm-hmm. But yeah, during the day, to have a fixed time off, I mean, of course, there will be a break where you can sit down every once in a while, but to have this fixed time off, camp is just crazily busy. So many people,
you'll be busy for sure. Yeah. Fantastic. So I don't think there's any more questions, guys. No, that's it for now, guys. So I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much, Selena, for coming in and telling us about the program. And of course, thank you for everyone joining here today and listening. Again, if you have any questions about the program, feel free to email us. You can email myself at recruitment@xxl.ie, or you can call us for a chat about the program as well. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm just going to again share the link there to sign up for the program as well, if you'd like to. And yes, thank you so much, guys.